Peace in from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of awful weather. Well, it isn't awful here right now. It's great. We've had sunny and dry and not too hot and not too cool days, but very windy. Of course, this is Dakota Territory. You expect 50 to 60 mile an hour breeze pretty often, all year round. They're forecasting, this is March 19th, 2015. They're forecasting for April, May, and June that the weather's going to turn cool and wet, which is what usually happens at that time of year, April and May anyway, particularly. In almost every spring, April and May are as cool as January and February. But this year, I'm going to climb the antenna tower, the ham radio antenna tower, without a safety belt. That's my equivalent of saying going out on a limb. But I don't want to get Bill O'Reilly mad at me. Here's my take. That's not going to be that's not going to happen. The usual wet spring pattern is not going to happen. As for it being cool, well, it isn't going to be too hot. In fact, this summer isn't going to be terribly hot all the way through. But my climbing, now that I'm getting high up on that tower, in this part of the country, that is Dakota Territory, Wyoming, possibly Montana, Colorado, that part of the country is going to see a drought. It's going to be sunny and beautiful, and for my friend my 86 or 87-year-old friend who likes to go down to Rapid City and get some sun in the swimming pool, she's going to have a great summer if she can get down there. She's getting a little old for getting around like that, but there's going to be a price to pay come particularly September and October. August, September, and October. For those of you who live in this area, my advice is make a list of things that you'll need if you have to evacuate in a hurry, because the fire risk come August, September, and October this year is going to be extreme, perhaps the worst in decades. Now, I forecast an epic winter a couple of years ago. It didn't quite turn out to be epic, but it was a pretty rough winter. Here, this time, I'm forecasting an epic drought for this part of the country. Be forewarned, Stan Gibilisco has spoken, and he bats .500, which is pretty good for the major leagues. Even in the majors, you never see anybody batting .500, but I'm batting .500 when it comes to forecasting the weather. Half the time I'm right, and half the time I'm wrong. You better hope I'm wrong if you live around here, because if a big fire starts and comes this way, I don't care. I'm getting the hell out. Keep your life as your priority, and your property can burn to a crisp. That may happen, that may not happen. But be forewarned and always be prepared for that possibility. Once again, the usual wet spring is not going to take place here. I'm going to go directly against the forecasters, just as I did last fall, and I turned out to get a hit that time. I didn't get as severe a winter as I was expecting in January and February, but it was winter, you know. It got below 0 Fahrenheit. And it's Celsius too, by the way. But be ready, say I. Be forewarned, say I. But for now, I'll simply say peace out from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of awful weather. It's either too much or not enough. of whatever you might want or hope for. Bah! Positive energy go to hell. Until next time, so long.